everybody? Orange and blue today. Cecil Lammey with Andrew Mason on assignment here to talk about the Denver Broncos. But before I jump in, I need to grab my Gatorade, which means I need to play this. And when playing that, I also need to play this. Oh, Broncos, time to go get that win against New Orleans. What's up, everybody? Can they get the win? Here to talk about it today. Yes, that's right. Away we go here on the big show. It is orange and blue today. Whew. All right. Just got over from the Broncos headquarters, Broncos Park, powered by Common Spirit. So away we go. It is time to talk about the Broncos and what I learned today and can they run the ball. I talked to Estime, and again, Mace is on assignment. I've got all up in the videos here on my phone, so we will have those videos for you on social networking channels at Mace Denver and our Denver Sports Twitter handle there as well, and also mine at Cecil Lammey. But the main thing is this week against Tampa Bay, and I'll get more into Spencer Rattler on probably Wednesday's show, and then Thursday, Mace is going to cut up a little thing. We're going to put something together. He'll be in New Orleans for the game, doing it as only Andrew Mason can. So we'll have plenty of great coverage for you right here on OBT. It is a BFD, and it's Estime. I really think Estime could be the difference. He could be everything that this team wants him to be and actually needs him to be in this contest. And Austin bringing up with the O-line being a revolving door, it's hard to run the ball. Maybe one of those spots will be fixed this week. Now, the Broncos put Mike McGlinchey on IR on a Wednesday 4 weeks ago. So tomorrow, if they want to, they can activate Mike McGlinchey from IR to have him play on Thursday night. Now, I did see Mike, but because I was on IR, we can't talk to him. You just say, like, what's up or whatever. I would say wouldn't be surprising if McGlinchey played. Also wouldn't be surprising if it's just Matt Peart, again, getting the start at right tackle for the Denver Broncos. So let's put a pin on that one. You know, the Broncos offensive line having some issues, but it's easier to run block than it is to pass block. And a pass blocking there, having some struggles there all across the line. So Alex Forsyth today as well, talked to him, said what's up, feeling good about, where he's going here at center for the Denver Broncos. But I wanted to start with Estime because I asked him specifically, can you look at what Tampa Bay did with Sean Tucker getting a 100-yard game, and that's our third string back from Syracuse, and then Bucky Irvin, their rookie running back, who should be their starter, but Rachaad White's banged up, whatever. But Bucky Irvin and Sean Tucker helped the Buccaneers run for over 300 yards. So I did ask Estime, and I'll get the video out, and Mason and I will both have it on our social networking. I said, do you look at Tampa? Do you look at what they did, 300 yards on the ground, and do you think that's us? And he said, well, we don't, because we're expecting their best shot. New Orleans, they're going to give us our best shot. So we look at doing what we can do and being as successful on the ground as we can be. I appreciated the answer, and I asked him specifically because I wanted that sort of professional answer, right? You never want a guy to reveal too much. You never want a young player to be like, yeah, we're going to kick their ass just like Tampa did. No. But you want to inquire because it has to be on a player's mind, especially one that's chomping at the bit like Estime, to get out there and to be maybe the featured back for the Denver Broncos. I wouldn't mind seeing that whatsoever. And we'll see if that's actually the case. And we'll see what Javonte Williams does. I have, belief in Javonte Williams as a pass blocker. I believe in Javonte as a veteran you can trust. I know the fumble notwithstanding. But, in, third down situations, you can trust him like you can trust a Samaje Perine. I don't like when his first carry against the Chargers, and Brandon Stokely talked about this today on Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth. Listen every day, 6 to 10. Stoke talked about that play being blocked for 4. And I remember Mark Schlereth always telling me about Terrell Davis, the great Terrell Davis, that when you would block it for 4 for TD, he'd get you 6. When you'd block it for 6, he'd get you 8. When you blocked it for 8, he'd get you 30. That's Terrell Davis. Now, Audric Estime, Javonte Williams, Jaleel McLaughlin, name whoever, they are not the great Terrell Davis. But, however, as my man Reggie McDaniel always used to say, there's always however in life. You can't have Javonte bouncing things outside for a yard. That's not his game. That's not what he does at all whatsoever. You don't want to see it. You don't want any part of that. This is trouble spot for the Denver Broncos because Javonte's vision has been a question mark. Now, Jets game, wet track. He was a straight ahead guy. They ran some zone concepts. And the next week against the Raiders, more zone concepts, more of a straight ahead guy. But when you run gap, you have to hit the hole. You have to hit the hole on time. So there's a timing element involved in a gap concept. You're straight up blocking. You're creating an alley for your runner. 1. In a zone concept, you have a multitude. You're going to flow laterally, and you're going to flow that way. I talked to Jonathan Cooper about that more on that tomorrow's show. But you flow laterally in a zone concept, and then you can bend back the other way. You can bang it between the tackles. You can bounce it outside. So bend, bang, or bounce. Bend it opposite play side, bang it right between the tackles, or bounce it outside. You have 3 options. Javonte is very comfortable when you're running zone concepts laterally, but when you're not, when you're running gap and you're straight up blocking to create one hole, Javonte does not hit that hole regularly, consistently, the way that you need him to. Instead, and just watch the first play. You don't have to watch much. Just go back and watch the first carry against the Chargers. They block a gap. He goes up, doesn't even go to the gap, which would have been 4, maybe he pushes it for 6. He bounces it outside. He does a little hesitation step and he bounces outside. You're not built that way. That's not your game at all whatsoever. If you're Javonte, you're making a mistake. And, maybe it's on Sean for calling more zone concepts, but damn it, you can't. He's a gap guy. So if you're a gap guy, you can throw into some zone, some trap, whatever, a draw play. But if you're Javonte, you got to run the play that's called. And what was called was a gap. And he didn't execute it. And because of that, now it's 2nd and 9. What if he would have got 6 on that play? Now it's 2nd and 4. Don't make me do math, but it's just, you wonder why the Broncos are so bad on 3rd down. You wonder why they can't get drives sustained. You wonder why they can't get off to a hot start. It's because they can't flip and run. You must run the ball. And with Javonte, I'm going to watch closely, watching Javonte, seeing what he can do over here. But I'm also thinking, okay, if he is doing the bounce thing or doing the dance thing, if he's having some sort of hesitation, out of there. Audric Estime, you're in. Jaleel's role is always going to be the same. It's not going to change. But Audric Estime, you're in. And in talking to Audric today, I asked him a couple of questions. One is about watching Tampa. Tampa had over 300 yards on the ground. They scored 51 points. The Saints were ahead at halftime. I know I had talked to Will Peterson about well, you said it was garbage time. When Spencer was in garbage time, he couldn't do anything. And by the way, again, I'll get into tomorrow where I talk about how you stop the Saints offense, because you can stop the Saints offense, especially with no Rashid Shaheed and no Chris Olave, maybe no Taysom Hill. This is an advantage for Denver. And this is where you got to win. And if you can win big, that would be great. But how do you win big? And what's Bo Nix's best friend? Sean Payton has said it, but we haven't seen it. And that's the problem. He said in the offseason, a rookie quarterback's best friend is running the ball. You're not running the ball. You're not staying with it. You're not having the wherewithal to stay with the rushing attack. And it's a problem. If McGlinchey can get out there on Thursday, and he could be available. Again, tomorrow we're going to know if they activate him. We'll see what's up with McGlinchey. If he's out there, that's a big boost for this team, especially in run blocking, because they can run. The Saints can't tackle. So run it down their throat. Javonte, 100 yards. Estime, 100 yards. It sounds crazy, but the Buccaneers almost did it with 2 backs, and Bucky's different. Bucky's a speed guy, and I really like Bucky Irving kind of as that speed guy. But Sean Tucker is not as good as Audric Estime. Sean Tucker is not as good as Javonte Williams. So, and all due respect to Sean Tucker and any Syracuse fans out there, Orange, don't get mad at me, but it's you can do what Tampa did you're better at run blocking than Tampa. If, McGlinchey's out there, I think that's a big if, right? So we have to look at it and go, your number one solution is running the ball to help out Bo Nix. Bo Nix, and I'll be as nice as I can be because I'm kind of pissed off about it. But the people that were anti-Bo Nix before the draft, and listen, baby, everybody does get down how you get down, right? And some people were for Bo Nix. I guess I shouldn't raise my hand off camera. At least I don't have any pit stains. Anyway, like there were people for Bo Nix over here. Might want to keep that one. And then there were people against Bo Nix. And I have to be around some people that were against Bo Nix and then just hear them. Bo couldn't do anything until garbage time. And personally, privately, I want to tell him to shut the hell up. Professionally, I just have to sit there and, well, what about this play? Oh, well, but Bo, and there's all these lame ass excuses for why Bo sucks. Bo doesn't suck. He's a rookie. They're down 3 offensive linemen. What the hell did you want? But it's the anti-Bo crowd. And God forbid Spencer Rattler looks better than Bo Nix, because the anti-Bo crowd was pro Spencer Rattler. And I don't think Rattler can play at the pro level. I could totally be wrong. You could clip this, put it on, whatever. Like, it's fine. I'm a big boy, right? I've made these evaluations for years. Some have been really right. Some have been really wrong. I'm going to be really right again. I'm going to be really wrong again, but I'm going to do the work for you guys. And I look at it and I go, I love Bo Nix, and I don't think Sean's loving him up enough. They're not running the ball. They're not helping out Bo. Why does Bo look so bad? Because he's running for his life. Because they're not running the ball. They're dead last in play action passing. That's a mistake. Sean Payton's offense is not antiquated, but this lack of play action, that's not keeping up with what the league is today. The league is that today. You're not doing it, Sean. They're 24th in pre-snap motion. Again, that's the league trend. And it doesn't mean you have to keep up with the Joneses or whatever, but you have to do what works in this league. And there's a pendulum that shifts in this league. It used to take about 10 years for the pendulum to change, and then offenses would change. It might be like 3 years now where the pendulum is now back to running the ball, which they don't do. Like when Javonte gets 60, and I praise it. I do praise it. I do appreciate that 60. It's a number. It's a good one. Like, he doesn't need 100, but damn it, he could get 100 this week. And Sean's got to have the intent to run the ball to help out Bo. It's a main thing. It settles Bo down. It allows the defense to come up. Then you can go over the top. He's number 4 in the league and passes over 20 yards, but he's at 31%. The league average is 35%. So it's not like he's too far off. Plus, he's a rookie, but that's a low percentage play. Now, Bo on passes past 5 yards is last in the league in completion percentage. He's at 41%. That's not great, Bob. How can you help Javonte out? Bo's numbers will be better when Javonte or Estime or hell, Blake Watson or anybody is running the ball. You've got to run the ball. And Sean Payton has said this week, it was my first question for Estime. And again, I just got from Broncos Park. So I just showed up, sat down in the studio. It's why I didn't go home to do it from my home studio. Beautiful palatial studios in Roxborough, Colorado. I've got the videos of Estime and Jonathan Cooper, etc. on my phone. And we'll get that out on the social channels. But my very first question for Estime to kick things off was like, Sean Payton's loving you up, man. He said it post game. He said it in Monday. He said it today. I really like Audric Estime. I really want to get Audric Estime. I really look at Audric Estime. Is there something to look at there, right? Is there something to maybe consider? Where are my beautiful GIFs at right there? Does that make you think, right? Are you thinking now differently when you hear that about Audric Estime from Sean Payton 3 times? So either Sean's talking and he's not going to back it up, or Estime might start. Now, I don't think he does. And full disclosure, I'm on the air when they practice. They have one practice available to us this week. So it's not like I saw Audric Estime with the first team, the very first snap. I didn't see practice. I'm on the air, Dover and Cecil, 10 a.m., 2 p.m. Appreciate you. Anyway, like Sean's either talking or something's up. Let's just say my sniffers could be totally wrong, but it seems like Estime could get, let's just put the number at 10 carries. That might even be too high. Let's just put the number at 10 carries. I want to see him get 20, right? I want to see Javonte get 10, 15, whatever. You have enough in the backfield, and God forbid, the Chargers game, just terrible, horrific. Are you kidding me? In the first half, when the Chargers have the ball for 21 minutes, when you've ran 20 plays, chat room, correct me if I'm wrong, but you ran 20 plays by halftime. That's pathetic. You should be running 35 plays by halftime, almost double of what you had. So let's just say on average, you're going to run 60 plays, 65 plays, 70 plays. Well, out of those 60, 65, 70 plays, 25 passing attempts, 35 rushing attempts, there's your 60. It's just science. And out of those 35 rushing attempts, some are going to be Bo. Some are going to be Bo that are not designed and they're just scrambles. Didn't like see Garett Bolles giving up on that play where he ducked under and Bo Nix made it happen and Bolles just kind of standing there. Like, want to clean that up. Want to clean it, get a little better on that one there. But if we look at this now, you must run the ball. New Orleans can't tackle, and your offense can't get off to a good start at all whatsoever. So make it happen on the ground. Hopefully Audric Estime can do that. Is there some sort of change? Again, I think Javonte starts the game. I'm going to be very clear about that. But Javonte could be the starter just ceremonially. Ceremonial? Something. There's a ceremony, everybody, and Javonte's the starter. But Estime out touches him. I think that's a possibility. Again, that's just a guess. But the way Sean Payton's talking, either you're going to give the kid 10 plus carries or you're just talking, Sean. All excited about New Orleans. And it's interesting to note, and again, I got the videos on the phone. I'll get them out there. Mace will get them out there as well. It's interesting to note that Sean Payton's guys from New Orleans, and only two talked today, Lil Jordan Humphrey, which I wasn't able to get in the media scrum. I was over. I like, for me, the locker room is about just, relationships, talking to guys, how you doing, how you feel about this week, stuff like that. So when I get to say what's up to Alex Forsyth or Quinn Miners or whatever, I don't have to get everything on camera. It's nice. It'd be nice to have a little more help in the locker room. Of course, usually it's just me and Mace running the show. But like Lil Jordan Humphrey talked, Adam Troutman talked, both asked ad nauseum questions about New Orleans because it's New Orleans week. They didn't really have much to say. They were probably coached up in that department. So we'll see. We'll see. But as Alex says, Nix has to play better. And how do you get him to play better? When you don't yet trust him, run the flipping ball. Run the ball. Set up your young passer so that he can look better on play action passing, these sorts of things. So that's what it comes down to. Jesus asks me, Cecil, don't you think if Sean doesn't open the playbook in New Orleans, then he'll never will? You have 2 games to open up the playbook. New Orleans with a defense that can't tackle, and the Panthers, who are a bad team. Got to be 2-0 here. You got to be 2-0. You drop one against the Chargers. I'm not saying that's okay. It's not okay. That definitely wasn't okay. But you've got to get the next 2. And if you can have some style points thrown in, all the better. A win is a win, like the Jets game. That's a win now. But it better look better than you had. Brian, yes, that Brian says Ashton Jeanty greater than Travis Hunter. Different positions. I think Travis Hunter is the best college player and the best player in all of college football. Jeanty might be second, but they're also different positions. And Travis is going to play 3 times as long as Jeanty. at least twice as long. It's a running back. Running backs don't play that long. So there you have it. Also, Brian says, does Cecil like overrated quarterbacks who drift from the pocket and hold the ball too long? He's actually talking about Shedeur because Brian can't stand Shedeur. Shedeur. Yeah, everybody's fine. You're all fine. Oh, okay. Here, though. This one from Alex. Cecil, what are your thoughts on how Peart performed Sunday? It was bad. It was bad. I like the kid. I call him a kid. He's a 5-year veteran. He's smart for sure. And from his own words, Mason and I talked to him last week. You saw the clips right here on this show. Didn't play all of them. But in talking to Peart, he had said that Zach Strief had stripped him down to the basics. And now they're building him back up. So it's a process. Peart in that start did not look good against the Chargers, who can bring the heat even without Joey Bosa. So, in week 16, if Peart is out there because of some injury, does he look better? Yeah, perhaps. But just know that this is a player, very smart, super strong, athletic. They had to tear him down. They had to take away all of his bad habits from the Giants to build him back up. So in the process of building back up, I'm not ever going to crush a guy and be like, he's terrible, he sucks. I used to be that guy. I guess maybe I've learned or just mellowed a little bit. Am I mellow? I don't think so. I don't think I'm mellow. But, you never know. Righteous anger. KW says, the second a Broncos running back has a good run, Sean pulls him. He doesn't want a good run game. He wants to win passing. There's a little bit of truth to that. I would just say that they need to, after a good run, have another good run. And once you run, even if it's not leading to first downs yet, you've got to stay with it. It needs to be first down run, second down run, third down pass. And hopefully on first down, it's a 6-yard run. Hopefully on second down, it's a 3-yard run. Then you've got 3rd and 1. You can do a lot on 3rd and 1. These 3rd and 5 pluses are also part of Bo Nix's problem. Part of the problem is Bo Nix and his feet. His feet aren't good. This is bad. He didn't have bad feet at Oregon. He's got bad feet right now, and that's bad. And I will just guess, again, not observing practice, but I'm going to guess that during the regular season, they don't work on his mechanics. During the regular season, it's about install. During the regular season, it's about getting down the plays and the order in which, in your first 15, it's not about, hey, clean up your feet. You'd like it if he could do that. And that's where, I'm afraid he's developing some bad habits because his feet were bad at Oregon. His feet are bad with the Denver Broncos. And bad feet will be the death knell of a quarterback. And I hate to be that bold with that statement, but that's how it is. Hey, my man Jason, the pot stoner degenerate is there. Thank you for smashing the like button. And Danzig, Cecil, Luscious Locks, and K Jeweler sponsorship for more chains. For Bling, Cecil, Mr. T starter kit. Jason, I'm going to get up there to Greeley, man. We're going to go have some of them burritos. Some chimichangas. Yeah, there we go. My dude Jason, pot stoner degenerate. Checking in, Purple Ring Bond Rip. Derek asked something very important. Can Estime not fumble? Estime needs to keep his feet. Now, his picture at his locker that's gotten a lot of publicity of Barry Sanders with the little anti-Ghostbuster sign through it, and then Jerome Bettis. Be Jerome Bettis. Don't be Barry, because you're not Barry. You're not yet Jerome either, but be Jerome. That picture's not there anymore. So whatever, he put it away, whatever. And we can't talk about stuff at guys' lockers. So, but that has been brought up in interviews with him. So whatever. I guess I feel okay talking about it. But he needs to keep his feet, because when he jumps, try to jump over guys. That's how you get hurt, or that's how you fumble, because you come down to the ground, you come down with a thud. Now, Jesus asks, off topic, is there a team that has a decent tight end but needs a right tackle? Here's the thing with Alex Palchevsky that you need, because Peart is, developmental guy, whatever. Frank Crumb's your future perhaps swing tackle, whatever. But what you need to do is ask Alex if he wants to play left. How do you feel playing left? I haven't had the chance to ask him yet, but you bet your ass I'm going to ask him that. Because you have to have the future in mind. Eckhart, think about the future. John brings up Elway's rating. And I generally agree with John. The only pushback I would give to John here, and it's not anything against what John said, the only pushback that I would give is 1983. I mean, the game's just different now. Elway was terrible as a rookie. I would, John, and do your own research. John, I would look up Drew Brees. Look up Drew Brees' first 6 games. They're almost identical to Bo. What was the difference with the San Diego Chargers? And Brian, yes, that Brian in the chat room can bring it up. And stop complaining about the buffs, Brian. But he can bring it up. Because look, Brian, you probably already know the number. But it's almost identical. Like, eerily, Bo has better completion percentage. Not by much than Drew. Drew has a little bit more passing yards. The passing touchdowns are the exact same. I can't speak English. And then the interceptions, I think Drew had more than Bo, just by like 1. Top of my head, whatever is whatever. But, the Elway was terrible as a rookie in 1983. The game is just different now. But I'd say Bo compared to Drew Brees. And I do agree. Here's the thing that I agree with John is like, he's getting better every game. Bruh, relax. I don't think he's talking to me because I'm the one that's preaching relaxing to everybody or patience to everybody. If he is, well, just watch more shows. You'll see that I'm the one saying like, yeah, just stay patient with Bo. DMC asks, is A.T. Perry going to be on the game day roster? Can't tell you that. DMC. Would it surprise me? No. Am I saying that he's going to be active? No, because we can't. And we don't yet know. That's the God's honest truth. We have no idea. Now, would it make sense? Is AT, perhaps upset about the Saints letting him go? Could you perhaps use that as a weapon? Is he a weapon at the outside, X or Z? I like him as a Z. Honestly, get him in motion and then, right? Just let him go and turn on that speed. So, there you go. Let's see. Oh, Nate says it just like, this is the truth, man. You can't let Rattler outshine Bo on Thursday. Not at all. And that's Rattler in a Kubiak Shanahan system. Again, I talked to Jonathan Cooper about the Kubiak Shanahan system. Maybe I better drink some Gatorade with proper label placement so Jason doesn't get mad at me in the chat room. I talked to Jonathan Cooper about the Kubiak system, the discipline therein, Spencer Rattler, etc. That's coming up tomorrow's show, and I'll have the clips done by then because I'll get home and do more work. Yay! Bo doesn't have LT. He needs Gente. Yep. Frank M says Breed had LT. Yep. That's right. Just a little patience. Yeah, there you go, Jason. They're getting better. They're getting better. Oh, okay. John says, no. I'm talking to our true fan base. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. And again, I don't disagree with your sentiment. Bo's getting better. Everyone needs to be patient. I would say like the Elway thing. Okay. That was 1983 compared to now. So how many years? Is that 40 years? 40. 41. Oh my God. I'm old. All right. Stop playing with your hair. You look like Corey Feldman. God blessed hope not. But thank you, David. The comments about my hair are always interesting. Perfect product placement. All right, I'm going to go for now. As I said on yesterday's show, Andrew Mason is on assignment. Go to his Twitter profile if you want to see any more. If you want to send him some well wishes, I would appreciate that. That dude is like a dear friend, absolute dear friend. And we all need to be there for each other at all times. So he's on assignment. He'll be at the game on Thursday. go to Twitter at Mace Denver and send him some well wishes. That would be good. That would be right. Okay, that is a wrap for Orange and Blue today. I am Cecil Lammey saying OBT's a BFD. Follow me on Twitter X at Cecil Lammey. If you can't spell it, get off the internet. Thanks for watching. Listen to Dover and Cecil. And keep watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you never miss a vid. Thanks, everybody. Stay tuned, and would you please stay frosty?